So Devil May Cry Season 2 just blew the doors wide open, and Season 3 is already on the way. Let's break down everything we know so far. Season 2 recap and where things left off. Season 2 massively expands both the sapient and the demonic sides of this world. In the season finale, Dante and Vergil go up against a freshly resurrected Argosax, a chaos god who's terrorizing New York City, driven by this insatiable hunger for power. Now the brothers are no match for him on their own, but they manage to do something smart. They deliver him straight to Makai, where King Mundus is waiting. Problem solved, right? Not exactly, because once they're in that hellish dimension, some seriously troubling revelations start coming out. Dante separated again. Mundus makes his move and tries to pull Vergil back to his side. And what we learn is that despite everything these two brothers have been through together, they really do come from two different worlds, and their futures are just as divided. Season 2 ends with Dante and Vergil separated once again. It's bittersweet, but it sets up something massive for what comes next. Season 3 release window. The good news? Fans won't have to wait forever. The Netflix series has already been renewed for Season 3 and is reportedly currently in production. Based on that, the show could return as early as 2027. Lady Arkham's big storyline, the Jester, revealed. Now here's one of the most jaw-dropping threads going into Season 3, and it's all about Lady. At the end of Season 2, a massive bombshell is dropped on her character. Lady, the former Arkham commander, has spent a long time dealing with the trauma of losing her family at a young age. But then Baines drops a revelation that's about to make all of that 10 times more complicated. It turns out Lady's father, Arkham, is still alive. And not only is he alive, he's been actively working as a treasured agent for Arkham. And here's where it gets really wild. He's eventually revealed to be the Jester, a member of Mundus's court in Makai, who has secretly been acting as a double agent for the sapient side of the war this entire time. Now, if you're a fan of the original Devil May Cry video games, you'll know exactly who the Jester is, and his role in the source material is genuinely iconic. This show does deviate from the games in a lot of ways, which is totally fair. Adi Shankar and Alex Larson have built something unique here. But fans can still expect the core characterizations and thematic dynamics between Jester and Lady to carry over, even if their story plays out in ways that are completely new to this series. And the way Lady's arc ends in Season 2 makes it crystal clear. She chooses to chase her past rather than accept a future with Dante. So her hunt for her father is going to be a core part of Season 3. Who's coming back? Alright, let's talk cast. The voice cast of this show is honestly a huge part of what makes it work, and the good news is that most of the original cast is expected to return. Johnny Young Bosch will likely be back as Dante, Robbie Daymond returns as Vergil, and Scout Taylor Compton reprises her role as Lady Arkham, along with some additional characters. And given how much this show loves its flashback sequences, there's a solid chance we'll also see the return of Kari Walgren as Eva, Ku Lawrence as young Dante, Marcel Nahapetian as young Vergil, and Evie Shu as young Lady. On the villain side, Tony Todd as Mundus and John Grease as President Hopper are both expected back for Season 3. And beyond the returning faces, characters like the Jester, young Maddie, and football player Tom are all likely to stay in the story, plus a few brand new characters who will bring completely unseen storylines to the screen. Dante and Vergil's relationship going deeper. At the heart of this entire show is the relationship between Dante and Vergil, and Season 3 is going to dig even deeper into that. Dante's whole motivation from the very beginning has been about family. That sense of belonging was ripped from him when he was young, and everything he does is basically in service of getting his brother back so they can be a family again. Vergil, on the other hand, is all about power and agency, and that's exactly why he sends Dante back to Earth while he stays in Makai to fight Mundus and eventually take the throne for himself. Vergil's plan is to become the new king of Makai, and then launch an invasion of Earth to grow his kingdom even further. That puts the two brothers on completely opposite sides, one as an imperial force, the other as the anti-establishment resistance against it. and yet their shared history and that brotherly bond never fully go away. There's also still the looming mystery of their father, Sparta, what his true motivations were, whether he genuinely loved Eva and his sons, and what actually happened to him. Those are questions Season 3 is going to have to answer. So yeah, Season 3 has a lot to work with. Lady's hunt for Arkham, Vergil's play for the Makai throne, and Dante just trying to hold everything together. It's going to be a wild ride. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more. It really helps the channel out. I'll see you in the next one.